Welcome back to the podcast. Halakis, everybody. It's Mr. PANOS here again. We're still here. If you heard the last episode, we're still here, which is crazy because I thought the roaches would be finished. By this point, there'd be no more humans and the roaches will have their museums. But we're still here. Every week is a miracle that we're still here, waiting for the Oprah election. So, we're still here in New York City in Gas Digital doing the podcast with my son Yorgi over here. And guess what Yorgi brought again? This time we're mixing it up for you, baby. We have another party clown. Yorgi, he loves comedy. He loves stand-up comedy. So he keeps getting these guests who's doing the party clowns, working at the children party. So here we have another one. His name is Sergio.
That's correct.
Sergio Chicon.
Chicon. Don't be disrespectful, Mr. Panos.
Chicon.
It's Chicon.
Chicon. So what kind of name we have here, Chicon?
I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican. Which, by the way, I gotta say, Mr. Panos, you have a serious security setup here. It took me forever to get in this damn building.
Well, that's because, Jorge told me that you was Puerto Rican, so we had to make sure that we had the metal detectors.
Disrespectful. The construction worker working downstairs, I'm gonna say he's Mexican. He looks Mexican. He was asking if I was the super. Do I look like a super?
You do look like the super.
Come on, man. I have a workout attire here. It's disrespectful, man.
This is a good job, being the super. I'm the super in my house. This is what the man does. They don't have a woman super. So it probably wasn't that she was Puerto Rican. They thought she was the super because you're a man.
Oh, all right. I didn't look at it that way. I got all bent out of shape, Mr.
You
Panos. You made me feel better. I was worked up.
Exactly. You didn't have a suit on. If you had a suit, they would think you're a business person.
Oh, man. I kept my foot at the elevator door, and I just kept on eyeballing him. He just ignored me, walked away.
This wasn't...
With sheetrock dust on his helmet. Oh.
He did. Now, you have a real job.
I'm a personal trainer.
Now, you also have a real job. You're the first party clown we had here who actually is making money because you have a job.
And I do stand-up comedy. I'm not a party clown. I do stand-up comedy for I may have done a few bar mitzvahs and children's parties, but I don't really like to talk about that.
For the Jews, you went to the bar mitzvah.
I've done that, yeah.
Did you get the money up front?
Up front.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because they come.
And I walked around. I was moving around with a little yarmulke.
You put one on there?
Yeah.
You don't have any hair to cover.
No, but I put it right here. You know, say this top it right there.
Right there.
Uh-huh.
You think the Jews is wearing the yarmulkes to cover because so many Jews go bald, they put this to cover the bald spot?
No, man, that's pointed towards their God. I know why they really have it. Yeah, it's pointed towards their God. Don't be disrespectful, Mr. Palm.
This is not disrespect. We're having fun here, baby. This is the most genius podcast we have on the planet. So we're going to talk the smart things. We're going to talk real here.
All right.
We're not going to be doing we're doing real talk here, baby. This is what they say in the streets, right, Chicon?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Chicon's Puerto Rican name was a Dominican name.
Chicon is Dominican. My father was half Dominican, half Puerto Rican.
Really?
That's a heavy Dominican name. Chicon.
Chicon.
It sounds like something on like something from a tree or something, like a fruit.
Like a fruit.
A nut.
Like
something indigenous to Dominican.
Does it have a meaning, this name?
Man, we should look it up. I have no idea.
You're not.
Chicon. And I was scared of my last name. I hated my last name, Pop.
Why is this?
Because kids used to make fun of me in grammar school. They'd be like, Sergio Chicken Little.
Oh, because you sound like a chicken.
No, because it's very close to chicken.
Or chicken like a girls.
Yeah, exactly.
So you had to become tough to fight this making fun of people.
Quick, fast.
That's right, because you grew up in here.
Lower East Side. That's why when I came into this building, when I entered this building, it reminded me of back in days when I used to go to after hours because I needed to be escorted up. Like I couldn't just press the button and end up on this level.
When they used to have the parties.
Yeah.
You used to go to these parties.
Yeah. You enter the party at 6 a.m. Real dirtbag shit, Mr. Panos.
6 a.m. You come to the party.
Yeah. You walk in the party, the birds are chirping.
It's a good night. That's how they sound.
That's how you know you had a dirtbag.
You do this at the children party with this bird noise.
Yeah, that's all I do.
That's a good one, baby.
Pigeon. Pigeon act out, squirrel act. I'm very squirrely.
You squirrely? What does mean squirrely?
I'm just shaky and tentative. I don't commit to anything. So I might move from squirrel to pigeon to seagull.
So you like animals.
Heavy on the animal references.
And you also like animals.
I love animals,
Because
man.
Jorge was showing me your Instagram.
Yeah.
This is what the children have now.
Yeah.
They saw the pictures. Isn't this funny that before they had the Instagram, if you sat down with somebody and you said, come look at these pictures from my family, nobody wants to look at your picture album.
correct.
You know this is Jorge? In 1985, you said, come look at the pictures of the family.
Because your photo album didn't have any followers. Now it's more of like who's following me? And, you know.
Why they like the picture album now? Why they watch on the computer?
And also, you could prep for the pictures now. You could look like a supermodel.
That's the
You could look like a workout guru. You could bullshit a little bit. Or a lot.
Is this what the difference is?
I think so.
Because before they didn't have a filter, you just had a Polaroid.
That's it.
So mommy,
And whatever shot it was is there.
That's
for
what
the
it
next
was.
4 decades.
now you
In
take.
between some plastic.
That's right, like baseball cards. Like they put them in the baseball
Oh
cards.
man, baseball cards.
So you're very interesting because you like the animals.
I love animals.
Where did you just go? You left here.
I know.
You're thinking. You're a thinking person.
Yes.
You're a thinking person. I can tell this right away. So when you was growing up in New York City, you was always a little genius. You was always different than the other people.
You know what, Mr. Panos? I don't know if I'm a genius, man. I just looked away because I started thinking about my animals, and animals make me happy. It took me to a special place. I had all sorts of animals. I had iguanas. I had guinea pigs, rabbits.
In the house?
In the house. My mother was definitely all about getting me any animal I wanted because it gave me a sense of responsibility. Good woman, right?
She taught you. Now, this is good family. You come from a good family.
Yeah, yeah.
You can tell this guy good family. But you wasn't good children. You was not a good children.
I was a good child.
You're going to the party 6 in the morning. This means the only people who's going to the party at 6 in the morning, they have the package. Correct?
Okay, you know, maybe there was a little package involved. Doesn't mean I wasn't bad. I was having a good time,
Have a good
Pano.
time. That's right.
Good time.
Boys can have a good time.
Walking into the party with a Newport cigarette perched on my ear.
The cigarette.
Yeah.
These Greeks like cigarettes.
Giannis, well, Mr. Panos.
Who's Giannis?
I'm sorry.
Your
I
friends.
mixed you up with my friend.
This because you have one Greek friend.
Yes,
This
I know.
Giannis Papas.
Yeah, and you guys have the same eyes. The same as a Greek,
Greeks,
right?
Greeks, look, we have tiny eyes with the big eyebrows.
Yeah. So I mixed you up with my other friend.
This-
And I do consider you a friend. I love you, Mr.
Thank you
Panos.
very much. Now, you friends with Giannis Papas. Now, how come people think he's funny? He's not that funny.
He's funny.
He's
very
not making
smart.
money.
His money's long.
He don't have a job.
He's moving around in the Beamer. Mr. Panos, a BMW. That money's long.
What does long mean?
I mean, it's big money.
You speaking very New York City. You speak quick, baby.
Mr. Panos, you act like you don't know the dialect. You know where I'm coming
know
from.
I hear it. I hear it in the restaurant.
You're hip to it.
So the long means he has a lot of money.
Long.
How did he get a lot of money from doing the party clown parties here? The bar mitzvahs, they don't pay a lot of money. He doesn't have a job. You have a job. What's your job?
I make a party clown and personal trainer.
The real job.
Personal trainer.
The real job.
Yeah.
This is good money. Because everyone nowadays, they want to be in shape. They want to, look at this here, baby.
Oh, yeah, you
I
got
don't
the
need it.
guns.
This is natural. This is from lifting plates. This is it. I carry the plate to the thing. Counting the money at the register. Look at this here, Yorgi. 60-year-old man, baby.
You can swing the kids from there.
From the kids like this.
Like that.
Like this. So this is a very good job you have. So you're teaching these people to be in shape.
Yeah, you know what? It's very specific. It's boxing, but I work at a boutique boxing gym. So it's a bunch of young people who don't really want to become boxers per se. They just want the look of a boxer. They want to be trim. They want to be fast. They also want to get their aggression out, punch things. But some of them, not all, but it's more interesting to talk about the ones who have no coordination. They have no business being there, Mr. Panos.
Yeah.
You don't see me moving in a place where I have no business. Some of these people are not coordinated. Yeah. They don't know their left from their right. I literally ask for a straight right hand, Mr. Panos, and I get a left. I touch their left hand.
And they can't do
And I get the right. I'd say bend your knees, and they pop their head up like a Pez dispenser. It's like, no.
What's wrong with these people?
I don't know, man, but it drives me. I get a twitch in my eye. I get the twitch, Mr. Panos, and that's why I need to be surrounded by people like you who get it, man. Like,
Thinking
very
people.
frustrated. I have
Thinking
4 of those
people.
today.
I know the left from the right. You know the problem is?
What does this look like, Mr. Panos?
This don't,
Fighter?
This don't look like a fighter. Look like you hold him, you're about to show me a magic trick.
Exactly.
This look like you have which hand? You're going to chill them. Which hand's the quarter? This is what they look like. Now,
Bend your knees. All right, hands by face.
they don't know what they're doing. Morons.
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 For sure.
Now, why these people? They want to learn how to be fighting, but they don't want to get punched in the face.
Oh, that's correct.
They don't want the real thing. What happened to these people that they become, that the boys is acting like the girls? We don't have real men. They don't have to box. Learn to box. You get punched in the face.
I eat that.
You had to because your last name was Chicon. Sound
Yes,
like a
sir.
chicken.
I've been punching my face, and my nose is still pretty. Look at that nose.
Looks good.
Right? Little button nose. My mother used to
You
say
must
it's a
have.
button
You
nose.
must have a good.
And I got to move a lot because the head is large. So I got an extra.
So
I bob and weave.
you have a good movement.
And you see how you keep your hands up when you bob and weave? That's how you move. Not like this. They look like a prairie dog out of a hole. Popping out the hole when the rattlesnake is coming. You know, they pop out. That's what they look like when they're boxing, Mr. Panos.
Well,
it's upsetting. It's off-putting.
But you try to help them.
I try, man.
But not too
But
much.
I'm human, man.
You can't help them. Only certain people can really box. The other
Pick
ones,
up a kettlebell, man. Squat.
Do
Can't-
something.
Yeah, I can't. It's disgraceful.
You hope-
and disrespectful.
You love this word, disrespect.
Yeah.
You hoping they're not listening to this podcast. Because if they're listening to this podcast, they know how the teacher feels about their stuff.
They know I'm a party clown. This is all part of the party clown
So I'm
thing.
joking here. They're very good boxers. So, you had to learn to fight at a young age. And you like animals.
Yeah.
And you went to the party at 6 in the morning. When did you find time to go to school?
I didn't do much school, Mr. Panos.
You didn't
School was just a place to show because I had to, but I did very little of that.
And how long, what age you learned to box?
Well, I dabbled in what the Boys Club of New York City. They had one on 10th Street and one on Pitt Street, and that's where I first picked up gloves, right, and boxed a little bit. And then I went to a real gym, a real boxing gym, like in my late teens, early 20s, and that's when it became real consistent.
Did you ever test it out on the street? You have to put it to
You
the
know what?
test.
As a kid, I was, a lot. The Lower East Side was much different. There was a lot of animosity between younger people and crews and cliques and all that. But it was never like one-on-ones. It was like a lot of jump. Like kids would jump each other.
To these pussy people.
Yeah,
What they
like-
call it? Shoot the fair one. They didn't want to shoot the fair one.
A lot of them
Not
didn't
with
want to shoot the
Chicon.
fair one.
Because Chicon.
I wasn't that nice. I mean, I was scared. I mean, we could paint that picture that was like tough. I wasn't. I was scared.
But you
That's
had the skill. You had the knowledge to punch.
no, I didn't.
You didn't have it?
No, not when I was young.
Let me ask you a question.
It came together much later when it wasn't even like going to be useful in the street. But now I move around with certain confidence that I don't even attract that sort of negative energy.
Because you feel like maybe you know how to do this.
No, I
Or
definitely
maybe
know
you
how
have
to
the
do it.
confidence because you know the other people, they don't know how.
Right. It's not even an issue where it's like, oh, I know I do this. It's just the way I move around different.
So you move confident with the people who look like ferrets. But when you're with the real boxers, you act like the ferrets.
Then, this is a funny story. So this is how it is. There's levels to everything, right? Recently, a good friend of mine, he's an ex-pro boxer. He's sparring one of the kids in the gym who's actually going to compete for the Golden Gloves, right? First round, boom, cracks him. Hurts him, right? I'm in next, and we're getting some good rounds in, and we're going back and forth, right? But the guy's an ex-pro. They move around different, confident, ring general shit. Last round of what I thought was the sparring, I would do what you call like a shoe shine, kind of unload for 30 seconds. Da, 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 da. He's smooth against the ropes. I blow everything out, right? Get myself nice and tight. I was like, yo, good work. And he says to me, nah, fuck that. We're doing one more round. And I was like, I gotta go, yo.
You had enough.
So I guess I was acting like what you would say, the faggots.
Like a ferret. Or you said faggot.
Oh, no, I meant ferret.
I meant ferret. I said ferret too.
Oh, yeah, I meant like a weasel.
Or either one. I mean,
I didn't
the
I wouldn't say faggot.
No, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, no. Weasel.
A ferret.
He said, fuck that. We're doing one more round.
And you didn't have it.
And I was like, my mom just called. I got to go. I'm a 38-year-old man.
That's okay. Sometimes
So I lied twice.
you have to sometimes get yourself
But
out
I
of the
did
situation.
it, Panos. I'm proud of myself.
Did you do the other round?
Yeah, I
What
did.
happened?
It went well. I was
You paused.
No,
You
no,
took
it
a
wa-
pause. That was
Yogi,
you just
tell your
lied.
father something, man.
You just lied the third time.
Somebody looks at
Two
that,
lies
right?
there. And
No,
you
it went
went-
well. It went well. I mean, you can believe what you want, Mr. Panos.
Okay. There you go. Fix it.
Well.
But listen, you know how to box. This is nice. So what happened to all the animals?
Oh, man.
Which animals you had? You had the guinea pig,
I had a ferret.
and you had snakes, because the Instagram, you had snakes.
I had Burmese pythons. I had ball pythons. I had ferrets are dirtbag animals, by the way. You should not own a ferret.
You had that ferret?
Yeah, he used to sleep in my sister's underwear drawer. She got and he sleep in there. She put on her underwear once and she got an infection on her left butt cheek.
From the ferret?
From the ferret hair. How disgusting is that?
But this is your fault that you let the ferret into the underwear.
Do what I want in my life, Mr.
But
Panos.
this is good. This is a good trick, actually. I should do this with my daughter. Pour the ferret so she gets the infection, so nobody's going to the underwear drawer. Yorgis is Yorgis' sister. He cares too. So you did this to keep the boys away from your sister.
No. Mr.
But it could work this way.
It could. My ferret killed my two parakeets, Mr. Budgie and Sweetie. I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, a lot of crazy things going on.
Wait, you named them what?
Mr. Budgie.
Mr. Budgie?
That's what I say with some Mr. Budgie and Sweetie Bird.
Sweetie, you didn't tell your friends these names?
No. And I say they came with names. I bought them at Petland. They came with names. My friends were dumb. They bought it.
Okay. Because this is not a grown man's naming these ferrets. They should name him Jerry and Steven. If you grown man.
Mr. Budgie.
Mr. Budgie.
And Sweetie.
How old were you when you made these names?
I wasn't 22 years old. I was more like 13, 14 years old.
Okay, so this makes you're still children.
I was a baby boy.
Yeah, you're still child at this point. Yeah.
So I wake up to the cries of a parakeet. And I turn on the light and I see my ferret. His name was Cody. That's a cute name. Happy?
This is like a real white, like a real wasp name.
Cody.
Cody.
Now Cody's face was painted red from the blood.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I
I
looked in the cage and there's two cavities in the parakeet's chest and they died in my hands. I was so pissed. I picked up the ferret and they have defense mechanism. What he does, he allows every muscle in his body to relax. And I didn't know what to do. He's a ferret with little arms. The arms are the size of my pinky. So I wanted to smack his butt. But when I did so, every muscle in his body relaxed. He just went like a pendulum back and forth. So I got pissed off at that because he licks the blood off his face. So I take his arm and I twist the arm. He bit me and then runs into the underwear drawer.
He had his defenses.
Yeah.
So he was swinging
Defense mechanisms.
when you was trying to smack him, he swung away.
No, he didn't swing away. He just relaxed every muscle. So like a boxer, when you go to punch, you don't want to resist. Roll with it.
Right.
Roll with it. Don't get tight. No. Roll, smooth.
So these
So he saw that shit coming and he went he just relaxed his body. Boom. And his
ferrets have a good boxing instincts then.
I mean, they
Like a boxer.
yeah, they're predators.
Now you very interesting. So you have the animals, you have a body clowns, a hobby, you have a job where you teaching people to box, and also you also saw your finger off.
Yes.
You're missing a finger.
Yes.
How this happened? Your finger got so tiny.
I used to do construction. Ironically, I wasn't even at a job site, Mr. Panos. I was in my apartment.
Wow.
Laying down some hardwood floor, not paying attention. The last piece of wood that needs to be cut. I'm rushing the job. It hits a knot in the wood. The blade jumps up. The wood pops up. Goes right up my finger. Look at that.
Jesus, look at this right here. Like it's on YouTube. You can see the finger.
Yeah, look at that.
This looks like a baby finger.
Look at baby finger.
Look like a pinky. Looks like you have two pinkies.
It looks like a baby cobra. Right? Look at that.
Look at this thing. So how they put the nail back on the finger?
Oh, man, that's modern.
Surgery.
I got to tell you, you'll be very proud of this.
Yeah.
My surgery, see, I had dirtbag insurance. That was the name of the insurance, DBS.
DBS.
It was dirtbag. My doctor, young Greek guy, fresh out of medical school.
Greek.
Ambitious.
Fixed you.
Ambitious. I would have been happy if they would have cut my finger up and threw it on the keychain. Nope. He removed bone from my wrist, reattached my finger, and gave me my nail back.
Really? Wow.
Look at that.
See, look at this. This Greek saved your finger.
Yeah.
So now with the girls, you can still use this finger.
Uh-huh. It feels like a little rabbit,
They
too.
don't see that coming. It's like, wow.
A rabbit.
What's a rabo?
You Google it. It's a little toy for the girls, for the ladies.
Oh, so you're moving fast.
Yeah, fast.
You
Look at
want-
that shit. Strong. He's experienced, man. He's been through some shit. He's not doing that. All these guys are a little bit like doofy, like, oh, we don't want to hurt ourselves. He jammed his finger on a basketball years ago.
Yeah.
He's scared to get married. You know, all that shit. This guy right here is just like, I've been through it all. He's like that dude, a friend that you may have who got a cut on his face. He's like, I've seen it all. He's like a Latin king, right? He's a Latin king of the fingers.
He's a street boy.
He's a street boy.
Now, this one's funny. You said this one's scared to get married.
This one's scared to get married.
He don't want to get married.
This one used to have a drug problem. Right? This one used to play. That's why he's just small, like little mountaineers, you know.
So each one of the fingers has a story
You know.
on Sergio Chicon's hand.
You know how it goes.
So you have a family,
Yes.
but you're not married.
No.
This is the most genius thing we had on the podcast. How you did this? Because I don't believe in marriage.
It's fairly
You shouldn't
simple.
be in marriage.
It's fairly simple.
How
Look
you
at me.
did this?
Look how I look, man. Every now and then, if the
What do you mean how you look?
I look good. I'm 38 years old.
Oh, there you
take
go.
take very good care
You
of
have
myself.
confidence.
Provide for my family.
That's right.
So you know, if my lady decides to bring up marriage, or I go, oh, hold up, and we walk to the mirror. I stand behind her. I say, take a look at yourself. Look what's behind you. Be proud of yourself. And I walk away.
So you show her the picture of how everything is.
Everything else. This is it. We're doing it.
This distracts her, and she says he's right.
Well, she's reminded.
She's
It's
reminded.
no distraction. Just reminded.
She reminded.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll bring up our daughter. I say, look what you got. You're welcome.
And it works. See?
Hey, no, and you just walk away. No, you don't want to see the response. Just walk away.
This is genius. I told you, see, I had hearts. When you came in here, I saw when you stared off to the second to think about the ferrets. When you stared off to the wall, that we're sitting here with somebody who's very smart, who has a brain.
I appreciate that, Mr.
Somehow
Bowman.
you managed to have a family without the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because the marriage costs a lot of money.
Hey, but at the same time, I look at my taxes this year. I may want to get married for tax reasons.
Well, now, what do you get from the tax? I don't pay taxes. We do cash. I'm Greg. Don't worry about it. They're not watching this podcast. They got bigger problems. I put the money under the mattress.
So I did my taxes last year, and this is a very old Jewish woman. Her name was,
Have to have a Jew for the taxes.
man, she was old, man, like 112. And she says, you're not married. He's not married. He doesn't want to get married. How long you got a kid and you don't want to get married? No. That's what she was doing to me. I'm paying you money to do my taxes, not to be ridiculed because I'm not married.
She's not your father. She's not your mother.
Every time.
She's your aunt. Your mother's okay. You're not married. She's not putting the pressure.
Oh,
She's perfect.
yeah.
You're genius. You have children. How many children you have?
I have a daughter, and she's 6 years old.
This changed you when you had the daughter?
Oh, yeah.
How this change you?
Hey, you just don't.
How you move around now? You say the word move. You like to move. You're still moving around dirtbag now. You have a child.
No, man. I tell you, everything is that all the bullshit, the 6 a.m. walking into the after hours, that's trivial nonsense, instant gratification. Now I got something that's more fulfilling, something that's pronounced and really it allows me to be motivated. It's a substance. It's something that feels good and warm. It's joy. It's happiness. My daughter provides that. So my advice to anyone who has a drinking problem or parties too much, have a kid. It makes everything better.
Have a kid. You heard it from Sergio. Also saw your finger off so you can have a magic finger for the girls.
That's how we're moving around.
This is the advice you have.
Yes.
Have a children for the joy, but also keep a small finger. Just in case. Learn how to box so you can move around confident. Always have animals in case you want to stop your sister or you from dating the boys. She
Right.
must have been mad at you.
It's not my fault. The ferret used
Oh,
to
it's
lay
your
on his
fault.
back, open the drawer, and do his thing.
She said, Sergio, the ferret got in the underwear again. And you said, this is the ferret. I don't have control of the ferret. So
They move around with with their own they have that. Ferrets are very ambitious.
They ambitious people.
No, ferrets are very ambitious animals, Mr.
Animals.
Yes. They're very ambitious.
And how so? They
get what they want. He wanted those parakeets. He got those parakeets.
He wanted
that sock drawer, that underwear drawer. He got in there. I move around like a ferret in these streets, man.
That's how you move around
Moving
here.
around like a ferret.
So what happened to the ferret? He finished?
Damn. I'm
inspired.
I might get a tattoo of a ferret on the neck. No one's moving around like that.
Nobody's talking about the ferrets and how they crawling into drawers. I don't even remember the last time I heard the word ferret. Nobody speaks about the ferret.
No.
So this is the animal. What happened to this ferret? He's finished?
Oh, I gave him away to somebody. He fell out of a project window. It's a sad story, but we're not.
So you remember?
We can edit, right?
You remember the good times. With
Yeah,
the
the
ferret.
good times, man. Why dwell on what happened to his future? You know?
So the snakes you had 2 snakes.
Yeah, I had 6 snakes.
6 snakes.
6 snakes. A king snake. They're called king snakes because they eat other snakes. Just in case the listeners don't know, I had a Burmese python from the area of Burma.
Probably.
I had boa constrictors. I had albino Burmese pythons. My first day at the job working at Petland Discounts, I overly ambitious.
Did you have a name tag here?
Oh yeah,
Sergio?
And they didn't have a real name. I had to just color them with a Sharpie. I was ambitious. I made my own.
Oh, did he have one?
Because I started like a day early.
You like a ferret. You move in these streets like a ferret.
I just can't handle your business.
Ambitious. So you had the name tag and you worked with the Petland. You had 6 snakes.
Yep. I had Carcanine boots, Gap khaki short pants, tucked in. I was proud of them. I used to walk in my neighborhood with the Petland shirt on, smelling like cedar chips and bird shit. Proud.
You had a job. Proud.
Proud.
You should
Chester
be proud.
pie.
You're working. Yeah. This is what men do. They have a job. They don't do the children parties full time. They have a job. Mm-hmm. And you have a job. You always had a job.
Yeah. Oh, so that was my first job, Petland Discount, working since the age of 14.
Now, when did you were living with mommy at this time?
Yes.
When did she say, Sergio, I think we have too many snakes? At which point? 3, 4, 5, or 6?
No, it was never a problem because I took care. I took care of my snakes.
Well, if
they're quiet creatures.
But if the ferret crawls into the drawer, you wasn't scared the snake was going to crawl into the asshole.
No. We made different arrangements with the ferret by that time. It was just snakes, guinea pigs, small mammals, and they all had their own terrain.
Oh, so you got rid of the ferret.
Yeah. The ferret moved around the apartment like a cat would, like a dog perhaps. Yeah.
Because the snake would have killed the ferret.
Oh, man, that might be something that might get 2 million views. We don't know. Ferrets eat snakes. Now, depending on what snake
Ferrets eat the snakes?
Yeah. They will eat a snake. Now, it depends on the size of the snake.
The ferret can eat a snake?
Absolutely.
I don't know anything about the ferret.
Ferret's like a weasel, like a mongoose, perhaps.
The mongoose, he is a snake. We was talking, Yorgi, we was talking about the mongoose last episode. How he eats a snake, he's immune to the poison. But the ferret, nobody thinks the ferret can eat a snake.
Yeah, man, it depends on the size of the snake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, ferrets are very interesting.
But you had a snake that eats snakes.
Yeah, it was
so
a king
this
snake.
is like a really hard snake. Yeah. So the ferret's not going to eat him easy.
Nope.
He might choke him out.
No, I think the king snake was too small. But I had a nasty snake. So my first day working at Petland, I was overly ambitious. I cleaned the albino Burmese tank. I wasn't supposed to touch it. $300 snakes, Mr. Panos. Back in the 90s, that's expensive. I leave the lid open. The snake gets out. I told the boys, I think someone stole the snake.
Yeah, that's the 4th lie you told.
I know,
But
it's a defense mechanism. You got to move around. You got to survive.
You have to survive.
You only got fired on my first day. We find the snake 4 months later in a glue trap under the cat litter, and they throw him in dead stock, put him in a plastic bag, throw him in the freezer. He's in there for half an hour. Another ambitious coworker takes him out, frees him with a glue trap, takes him home, feeds him, force feeds him, and he's back to life, Mr. Panos. A nasty snake, though. She gives him back to me, and he was the nastiest snake. We named him, what was his name? Pandora or something like that. He was nasty, man.
So he was mean snake.
He was nasty. He was...
Well, only a mean snake could survive
breathing heavy.
He was survived for months.
Yeah.
What was he eating? Rats?
No, nothing. I had this snake. You can have a snake and they won't eat for an entire year. That's why they've been around since, pretty much the beginning of time. Man.
They're like models. They're like models. They don't eat.
They don't eat.
Snakes. Very interesting. Has 6 snakes. So here we have. Now, you are a very interesting person. Have a family. Have a job. Have snakes. You have boxing. Everything. Who is the best boxers in the planet? Greeks? Are there any good Greek boxers?
It's a tough one, man.
Because we used to wrestle in the Olympics.
Maybe that's your sport,
and
man.
look, we also used to do this the whole time. This is where the boys used to play.
You guys, the way you guys battle is different. I've never seen a boxer with some good hands.
We battle naked.
Yeah, it's a little different. I like Roberto Duran, Hands of Stone. He was, what was he, Panamanian. I mean, you got an all-American great who just retired, Floyd Mayweather, very defensive fighter. He's really good. Then you got people like Sugar Ray Leonard, Speed, you know.
You never say one person, though. Who's the best?
It's subjective.
This is what happens when you have someone with too much knowledge. You can't take one because each person has a weakness and a
It's a
strength.
different time.
But if you had to pick one.
You know what? I'm going to go with somebody, and this is it's not the best, my favorite. Miguel Cotto comes from a small island of Puerto Rico. He fought everybody. He fought a cheating Antonio Margarito who had plaster of Paris in his gloves.
I remember this.
Remember that? Cement or whatever that material is. Crushed him and his dreams. He came back from that and fought, won more titles. That's one of the best to me.
Puerto Rican people have good fighters. How many? Cotto.
Benitez. Trinidad.
Very nice.
Mr. Panos, you never said that Trinidad was Mexican, right?
No, that wasn't me.
That didn't step out your mouth.
No.
If so, I would think that's disrespectful. I'm
gonna
have to go back in the
Why
archives.
is it disrespectful? The
Because-
Puerto Rican people have a problem with the Mexicans?
No, I'm just saying, man. Puerto Rican, you know, just don't jump the gun. You know, it's different fighters.
So you have pride with this. He's a Puerto Rican fighter.
Yeah, you know, boxing's very it's all
Mexican
about
fighters is good fighters.
very good fighters. They like to bang.
They have their own style.
Very straightforward.
Who of the people, which culture has the best boxers?
Man, Mexican fighters are good fighters.
The most.
There's a lot of them, man.
How about the black people? Black people have the best fighters.
Black, Puerto Rican, Mexican.
No white people.
You know what? Russia's starting to step it up a little bit.
They have-
Anyway, when it's like serious poverty, you're gonna be some fighters
There's gonna
that
be-
really want to fight. Not like this.
The Ferrets.
Yeah, not no Ferret. Oh, coin in the left hand or right hand type shit. Nah.
No. But how about from England? They have
You have what?
the fast one. What was his name from Wales?
Kazaki.
Kazaki. He was Italian.
He moved around like a ferret. Sneaky. Elusive.
He had no power though.
He didn't need the power. He had speed. Speed negates everything. Speed would neutralize any other power you bring to the table. You got speed. It doesn't matter how strong the guy is. You got speed. I mean, you can just get there first if you can move out the way. The only thing that could beat speed is timing.
Timing.
Yeah, and timing is, you know.
And if you don't have speed, do a little package. Go to the after hours, 6 in the morning, like Sergio Chicon. Sergio Chicon.
I wouldn't recommend that. I do not endorse.
Don't do this. So, thank you for being on the podcast. You are a genius with a little finger.
Ah, you're the man, Mr.
You
Panos.
genius. You did figure out a way to not get married and you have a happy family. This is my hero right here. So where the peoples they can find your party clowns? You have internet?
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, if anyone from Albany is listening, I'll be with Chris DiStefano, a good friend of ours.
Chris DiStefano, we had him on the podcast. He's a party
We're
clown.
working together Thursday through Sunday at the Funny Bone in Albany.
Albany, this is the state capital.
Yeah.
And also, you teach in the classes. If you want to learn to box, call Chicon.
Yeah.
He'll teach you.
Come through.
He'll teach you how to move.
Move around confidently.
And so go see Sergio do his party clown with party clown Chris DiStefano in Albany, in New York. He also, you can follow his Twitter. He has, what's the internet?
Yeah, you know what? Instagram is what I like.
Instagram.
Sergio Chicon, easy enough to find.
Go look at the pictures. Thank you very much, baby.
My absolute pleasure.
We had another clown here. We're going to keep having them. Yorgi likes comedians. So we'll see you next time. Till then, stay Greek, baby.